Either one.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, ladies and gents. Tammy Mason, as Ms. Joyce just announced. So Alzheimer's and music is really dear to me. Music in general is like everything, right? Everyone, whether it's classic, opera, Motown, hip hop, R&B, it's something, it just makes everyone feel good. So I'm an 80s baby, but I love oldies. I love oldies, okay? I also love the 90s music. Anything after 2015, dismiss me. So again, Alzheimer's is really dear to my heart. I have a client that I'm really close to, and seeing how Alzheimer's affects the brain, it's really sad because they can remember what happened in the past, but that short-term memory is like, oh, what did you just say 5 minutes ago? So Alzheimer's, it's really dear to me. So what is music therapy? Music therapy actually improves a patient's focus, improves their ability to communicate with those close to them, and may lower their dependence on psychiatric drugs. So if you play some music for someone with Alzheimer's, they'll eventually remember. They'll remember, they'll talk about their past or even talk about something that that happened recently. They'll even start to tap their feet, dance, and I love to dance too. So, so let's go ahead and start. So Alzheimer's disease, a little bit of info on that. It causes shrinkage of the posterior part of the brain and abnormal deposits of protein that damage and destroy brain cells. So Alzheimer's disease can definitely destroy the brain. Obviously, we've all worked with someone who has Alzheimer's. We know that it can destroy their brain. So some symptoms of Alzheimer's is the early symptoms, memory loss, and sometimes medication can cause memory loss as well. So misplacing items, forgetting where things were, those are some of the early symptoms. Middle stage, increasing confusion or disorientation, obsessive, repetitive, or impulsive behavior. My little lady, she's upset that I'm going to be sending a different caregiver to her. So she's apologizing as if she did something wrong, and she didn't do anything wrong. I just felt like I can go and visit her and hang out with her, go to the library, play some music, and we can dance. But I can hang out with her for a little bit of time because I've been with her for a few years already. And one-on-one caregiving with Alzheimer's, it starts to become a lot because the questions, she's not in the middle stages anymore. She's in the later stages. So it becomes a lot. And to have someone else go over and hang out with her or take care of her is more beneficial, and we can just be friends from a distance, or I can hang out with her. So the later symptoms include difficulty in changing position or moving around without assistance, considerable weight loss. And she's at that point with the weight loss. And it hurts because, again, I've been with her for a few years and I've seen her decline. Gradual loss of speech, significant problems with short and long-term memory. Long-term memory is good, her short-term is not that good. So self-care. What about their self-care? She does exercise regularly. She can walk 3 miles, if not more, in a day. And she can speed walk too. So that's pretty cool. But the self-care, as far as having a healthy diet, getting quality sleep, you can tell that it affects her sleep pattern. You can tell that Alzheimer's affects her, even her taking care of herself as far as bathing. You can tell that stress bothers her also, or anxiety. For example, me leaving her, or not really leaving her, but stepping away, it bothers her. So it's best to seek help and talk to someone before starting anything, any form of medication, or just looking for a treatment. So some facts about Alzheimer's, actually, if you find out 10 to 15 years before you even have it, you can take the medication to stop it or slow it down. But if you started at a middle stage or later stages, it doesn't really help. It's not going to help. So Alzheimer's is common for those over the 60s and older. It's more common in females, and I have seen it because I've worked in a nursing homes. It is more common in females. It can be dangerous or life-threatening, and there is a family history on Alzheimer's also. So if you have that family history of someone who has Alzheimer's, it may skip a generation, but that doesn't mean it's going to skip the next generation. All right. So music therapy. Music therapy is a broad field, right? Music therapists use music based on experiences to address clients' needs in one or more domains of human functioning. So again, music makes you want to dance. It makes you want to sing. And even just thinking about some songs right now, I want to dance. So music definitely puts you in a place where you feel good, right? You feel good and you're like, you can listen to rap and it makes you feel like totally different person. But when you listen to R&B, it makes you feel like, oh, there's love in the world. There's love here, love there. Listen to classical, it makes you want to just concentrate and just be in the moment. Like, oh, I can get a lot done if I listen to this classical music. So it lowers the heart rate and blood pressure, reduces stress. And when you go to the gym and you're listening to music, you're like, yeah, I got this, I can go. And then back to the Alzheimer's, when you see them, there's a little lady, another one of our clients, her husband, he has a bar in his backyard. He's like, let's go to the bar and hang out. I don't drink, neither does she, but we go back there and he puts on the music for her and she's nonverbal, but she definitely gets up and she starts moving. She starts dancing and I'm standing there with her and I'm dancing with her, because it feels good. And then she's like, oh, I didn't know you were here. How are you? So those are things like that makes me happy, especially when they have Alzheimer's, even though you can tell, I mean, even though they lose their memory, but having that moment and seeing the family member's face expression, it is everything. Like it's joy. It brings joy to my heart. And it's amazing just to see that. So I have a couple videos that we can see. Okay. Well, in these two videos, it shows the
entity there to make it work.
Oh, maybe. Mm-mm. Well, in these two videos that I was going to show you, you can see the reaction of the elderly clients or patients. You can see their reaction to the music. Thank you.
Oh, so this was it this right here? Yeah, it's not in the presentation,
Mhm.
unfortunately.
Okay. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work for it right now.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
sorry, ladies and gents.
Okay. You just go put it directly there.
Mhm.
Is it?
Music has a way of triggering memories, and now Dr. John LaPook tells us it's being used to help Alzheimer's patients.
Each week, the DJ spins oldies but goodies at the Toad Hill Senior Center on Staten Island. Also taking a spin, 74-year-old Carol Daly, who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's 12 years ago. We've been following Carol and her husband Mike since 2008,
Me and my husband, Mike.
charting her decline.
What's your husband's name?
My husband's?
Your husband's name?
Yeah.
Witnessing their love story. When we met
Sorry, so in this video, you can see they're talking about Carol and her finding out that she has Alzheimer's about 15 years ago, I think he said. So we can see how she reacts to music here in this video.
again this spring, Carol was barely talking.
And I really see a tremendous difference in Carol. What do you see?
Sadness. This is what we lived so long for.
Caregivers like Mike Daly are desperate for anything that can improve quality of life. So we introduced the Dalys to the Music and Memory program, created by social worker Dan Cohn.
Our senses, sight, smell, really light up a very small part of the brain, but music lights up many parts of the brain. So even though the brain may deteriorate in certain areas, other areas of the brain are still very much there.
And that gave Cohn an idea. In 2008, he started handing out iPods to nursing home residents so they could have personalized music. Cobble Hill Health Center in Brooklyn was one of the first to give it a try. A decade later, it's in some 4,500 sites.
Okay, we're going to play some music.
Okay.
In the Music and Memory program, family and friends create the playlist. Cohn says the headphones help eliminate distractions.
She said Pretender exactly as it said Pretender. So she's on the beat.
Since the music we love is really tied to our emotional system, and our emotional system is still very much intact, that's what we're connecting, and that's what still works.
Emotional for Mike Daly as well.
It's more than I can deal with, I can handle.
It's poignant. Is it a good poignant?
Yes, it's knowing that she hasn't lost it all.
And now you're looking at me right in my eyes, which you were not doing before. And you're singing beautifully. We always talk about the risks and benefits of therapy as well. It's hard to find much of a downside.
So I really like that video of her. She's so cute. But even, with that, you can see that music it's everything for patients with Alzheimer's, even just, again, us, and we're in our, right state of mind still, we can still do things. But when you think about the Alzheimer's disease, it's really sad to know that it's something that just eats up the brain. It literally just deteriorates the brain. But one thing I can say about my lady, she loves to go to my office, and when she comes over, I have the little box, and her favorite song is Mr. Postman. That is her favorite. She said, "Can you play that song? Postman. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll put it on for you." So, and we're in there dancing. I wish I would have done a video so you guys could have seen her, but she's amazing. I was that one in the nursing homes who during activities would go and join the activities. I would dance in there with them because it brought them joy, the elderly joy. So I definitely, I love what I do, and I love working with the elderly, and I love seeing the smiles on their faces to bring them joy. To see my smile makes them happy, and then they think about the song Tammy that I've never heard. So I really enjoy what I do again, and I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation. I'm sorry I had a little technical difficulties, but I really hope you guys enjoyed the presentation. Thank you so much.
Does anybody have any questions for Tammy and the work that she does? I'm curious if any of your patients make a song request once they realize that they can remember a song. Do they make a request?
Well, this one that I shared most about, she loves Elvis too. Also, she loves to listen to Elvis. She also has a jukebox at home. So Elvis, I don't know any of his songs really, but
Yeah.
Elvis definitely, that's one of her favorites.
Yeah, I'm just curious if it kind of helps bring some memories back, right? And then I feel like that would really make their family members feel like there's a connection there, right? Because I think that's something that is part of that loss, is you're not able to connect with your family member and share memories with them, right? And maybe, of course, the painful experience of them maybe not remembering you. But if you can share that powerful experience of music with them, and there's a connection there, I feel like that also would be so wonderful for the family member to be able to experience that connection with their loved one.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Her granddaughters actually came over after like 10 years. And she hadn't seen them for literally 10 years. She thought they were her cousins, distant cousins. But once she saw pictures of them as babies, she recognized them, who they were. In front of her, not as children, but as adults now in college. But it's been 10 years, so of course she would have forgotten her grandchildren. But seeing her remember them, seeing the pictures and everything, it just, it was different. It was a different.
So powerful. I would be interested. Can we turn the lights on? I would be so interested in, like, learning and hearing more about how that research is maybe, unlocking, and we have a question over here, unlocking, more information about Alzheimer's.
No, I'm only back there. Just want to make 2 comments. We've had a couple of clients in the last year at Christmas time. Caregiver therapists are singing Christmas carols to the client who was communicative. And at that point, the client came back and was able to sing them exactly the way they were. And the husband was like, I can't believe that. Okay. The other client that we had was in a situation where they got into the ballroom swing dancing with the music or beyond. She would get up and do that, and so she had a partner.
So just some more powerful experiences and testimonies of the power of that, therapy, right? So cool. I love that. And that's something that, again, like, this is information that you have, and maybe people who have a loved one with Alzheimer's, they have no idea that this would be maybe a way to connect with their loved one. So I would love for you to send that link to Amy so we could put that on Facebook. Yeah, that's great.
I have one question.
Oh,
How do you feel about accessing your services?
I have a website. I have a website, and I don't think I gave you a business card. I can give you a business card, and then we can connect with that.
And what can I highlight on Facebook?
Yeah.
How to access. Oh, she wanted to know what was the question that.
All right. Any other questions or comments?
I'm gonna.
You want to put on the microphone?
I'm Vanna, and I'm with the Garden of National Memory Care, and that's all that we do, and we're in this every day, and music is so awesome. We got this one gentleman, it's a really unique story, and he wouldn't even know he had the Jackson Park Cotton Field. So one day, we talk about piano and, he goes, you know how to play the piano? And I couldn't play before. And he sat down and he played the most classical piano. I mean, it was like, he's not with us anymore, but he still was a big impact on all of us. And then in the evenings when I get ready to go home, I could hear him, his moods, you can tell by his piano playing, good mood or bad mood. And at the end, when he started deteriorating, you could tell that something, he couldn't tell you. But anyway, that was a big story that I'll never forget about. So anyway, it's not a good story.
They have to, he used the music as a way to communicate. Yeah. 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 The music came from within. Awesome. Thank you. All right, any other comments? Questions? Stories? All right, so our next meeting, this is the correct date. Okay. Next meeting is Thursday, July 13th, right here at 10 a.m. Doors open at 9:30 a.m. And you are more than welcome to come on in and spend time lighting up this room with energy. We're going to be hearing from Jim Liberto from Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, sharing about financial opportunities and educating us all on reverse mortgages and how they can potentially help seniors stay in their home and age in place in those later years. Okay. All right. So Amy, let's do the raffle. Three or two? Three? Ooh. All right. Okay, so the first person, are we getting the plan away? That's okay. Mary Ann from Astoria. This is beautiful.
Wow, she got a plan.
Oh,
That's my favorite.
Another historian is happening. Jump up and go sit at that table right now, so that you can win the next.
It's Rick.
Thank you. Shuffle it around and dig around. Pull from the bottom. All right. Apex Care, Tammy Milton.